to whoever may find this. I can actually see a little better with the glasses up. I'm out in the woods today. Beautiful day. Anyway, I'm inspired to make a video by a video I saw on YouTube by Alternative History Hub entitled The Only Way Germany Could Have Won World War II, obviously we're talking about. And just wanted to give my thoughts on the subject. I did a few videos back in the day. Nobody sees it. Nobody watches my stuff practically, but I do this kind of for my own thing, my own reflections, whatever. And if other people see it, that's cool. Anyway, I have a few other videos. One entitled Axis versus USSR, where I talk about this, and another one on why Nazi Germany was racist against Slavic people, essentially, or people further out east. If anybody's interested, check my stuff out. Might shed a little light on this topic, but so in my opinion, there were maybe 4 things that Germany could have done to win the war against the Soviet Union. First thing, they could have done more collaboration and support in a better and more complete way with their allies. So as most people probably know, Italy was kind of a flop in a lot of their endeavors, and Germany had to come and bail them out. Well, if Germany had supported them with logistics, kind of been more involved in the process of the Italian expansion, instead of having to kind of bail them out post hoc, if they had had better supply lines, etc., Italy could have been stronger and could have assisted them in a much better, more complete way in other areas of the war, including in the Eastern Front. Some Italians did. I think it was 600,000, so a pretty significant amount, actually, of Italian troops actually ended up on the Eastern Front. If they had suffered fewer casualties, fewer issues earlier on, they could have been a stronger ally to help with that. Also, Hungary was persuaded, coerced. There might even have been a false flag thing. That's another subject. Hungary sent 800,000 troops to assist Germany in their invasion of the Soviet Union, but half of them didn't have guns. If Germany had been more proactively involved with maybe assisting the Italians, Hungarians, and Romanians, those were kind of the 3 big allies. There were others, Finland, etc., who assisted in the invasion, but those were kind of the biggest 3 in terms of manpower and potential. If they had been, if there had been more logistics, better communication, better support early on, they could have been more significant and aided Germany much better, I think, in Operation Barbarossa and the general invasion of the Soviet Union. So that's 1. 2, as soon as Pearl Harbor happened, Hitler declared war on the United States, which then opened up this whole, we gotta guard the western flank. They had to guard it against Britain and their allies, their empire, etc. Anyway, but it kind of took it to a whole level of threat once the United States got involved. Now, I think the United States would have gotten involved regardless in time, but if they could have delayed that, it could have put a whole they could have poured more resources into the East. So that's 2. 3, they went in and basically committed genocide against Slavic peoples in Ukraine, Russia, Belarus. What if they had, which then of course made them willingly like, okay, let's, we gotta stand against this, even though they didn't like, maybe probably a lot of people didn't like Stalin. We gotta choose this side because these guys are killing us, etc. If they had been, now obviously they couldn't have just let uprisings happen. They couldn't have been totally soft, but if they had tried to make the case that they were kind of coming as liberators, at least for some people that they liked, maybe. They had a lot of racism against Slavic people, but they made exceptions. They got along with, they liked Croatians for some reason, etc. They could have made more exceptions. Maybe, some of the people in Ukraine, the Nazis being obsessed with Aryan stuff. A lot of people in Ukraine have blonde hair, etc. They could have made more exceptions to that, and maybe welcomed. There were partisans, but they could have had more. They could have had less, uprisings, etc. I think that could have gone a long way to turn things for them. Thirdly, in terms of the army groups, north, south, center, they could have, I think they should have, instead of focusing on the center and north, they should have focused on Army Group South to secure the oil fields, to make their gas shortages were a big thing in slowing them down, even though they did some impressive taking of territories, etc. If they had secured the oil, they could have sustained what they were doing in a more long-term kind of way. I think that could have possibly helped them a lot in turning the tide